Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you resonate with the title and or the thumbnail, this is the perfect reading for you, delivered at the perfect time in timely fashion, courtesy of the universe through the language of synchronicity. This is a collective or general reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate. Take what works for you, leave the rest, and this is a timely reading. So if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That will give you further clarity as to your situation now. We have the Queen of Pentacles, whoa, and we have the Queen of the House, Stella, my cat. Showed up for work after all. Her job is to sit on my lap and purr. A cat's purr raises the vibration to a very high healing level, can lower blood pressure. So I figure we could all use the help we can get these days. And she takes her job pretty seriously. She's got happy feet now. So pretty soon, you may not hear her purr because I have a noise canceling mic on and it's pretty efficient. All right, so we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is talking about, the Pentacles represent health, wealth, and happiness in the tarot. And a big part of that, of course, in the third dimensional plane is the money. So it's represented by a coin. Having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not live the lifestyle that you would like to be living. So this is more talking about lifestyle. The Queen of the Queen of Pentacles is known for being very resourceful. She can make something out of nothing. And also, she prefers quality over quantity. So she is someone that she's not flashy with her money. She has no need to be. She doesn't have anything to prove to anyone. She comes from old money, so she's used to having money. And this is talking about generational wealth, a legacy that can be passed down from to your children to your children's children. And so that's the underlying energy of the deck here. We have a Page of Cups here. So the pages worked for the king and the queen in the court, and their job would be to do small tasks. They would come from the surrounding families where they would, the higher class families that were well educated, and they would learn the ropes, of how to work for the king and the queen and the court. And if they were successful, and by the age of 21 they were still there, they could possibly be considered for knighthood if they could afford a horse. And so the Page of Cups is, each one of the pages has their element. And the page represents communication coming in, because one of the main tasks that the pages were assigned was communication, delivering communication back and forth between people in the court. And the Page of Cups, his element that he's representing is the element of cups. And this is representing, love. And so love, romantic love, number one, and then there can also be love of other people, in places and things, pets, etc., friends, and also it could be something you love to do or be. But this Page of Cups, he understands there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he's totally focused on this fish. So someone has their eye on you, or you have your eye on someone. It could have to do with the Queen of Pentacles, that you have your eye maybe on the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Pentacles has her eye on you. So this is the energy. Understanding also that in tarot, these are archetypes. So the Queen of Pentacles could be a male with in his feminine energy, as well as a female in her feminine energy, and the pages could be a young person. It's representing energy under 20 years of age. They could be a male or a female in their masculine energy. In the old days, of course, the only way would be in person that the information or the communication would be delivered. But these days, it could be so many different ways. You could get a letter in the mail, you could get a phone call, a text message, maybe an email, and you could be on social media and get a message, or possibly you see something, an event being advertised there, and you choose to go to the event, and while you're there you run into someone that is the perfect person you needed to meet. And this can also, in this case, represent online dating. We do have soulmates, so wow, so this is someone has an eye on you, or you have an eye on someone, and again, it's the same energy, but this is saying this isn't just anybody, this is your soulmate. So this is a soul connection that was made before you came to Earth, and you agreed to be with this person and get together with them at some point on your journey, in this cycle that you're in. And so this is representing also a very balanced, two balanced people within themselves. So it's saying that your masculine and your feminine energy is balanced within each of them. And so they don't need each other to function. They enjoy each other's company. And so this represents also communication from a higher source energy, from God, and I call that HSN, the higher self network. And so the higher self network is just like when you go on the internet with, it's the same energy, but the difference is that when you're on the internet, you know that you're on the internet. The higher self network is on 24/7. So you're always able to communicate with source energy, with God, and bring that energy down to you. You just have to learn to communicate in that way. And we have been left out in the cold. So this is an energy of perhaps one of the soulmates or both the soulmates. It's not uncommon for people to have the same experiences when they're soulmates, be very different maybe, be brought up totally different in different countries even, or whatever, different religions, but still have very similar circumstances happen. So at different ages, and that is why they understand each other so well. Both of them may have felt like they were left out in the cold, not fitting into society, that kind of energy. Also, I mean, the Five of Pentacles represents, there's 10 pentacles in the tarot, and this is like half of what you could have. And there's two people here, and neither one clearly is living a lifestyle that is satisfactory. This one's on crutches and has a big bell hanging on his neck. In the old days, they didn't have apps to isolate people from society when there was plagues going around. So they would just hang a bell on their neck, and then when they came into town, people would run away from them because they could hear them coming from a mile away, which made it kind of hard to get jobs or, buy groceries, be a part of society in any way, shape, or form. It works like an app, but like it's a bell instead. And then this is being barefoot and in the snow, basically. So sometimes this card can represent shift that's happening, external forces outside of your control, and tactics being used to put you here. Whenever there's a lot of money, and you're wondering, well, why would someone want to use tactics to put me out in the cold? I don't even know these people. Follow the money. And so basically this is saying there could be tactics that are involved in having you be left out in the cold. The good news is that if you're meeting your soulmate, then you're going to be empowered. And this is, we'll just keep going here and see what's going on. So maybe you needed to learn the art of discernment because the Queen of Swords is here now, and she is sitting on her throne, and she's willing to receive the information. And this could be from the Queen of Pentacles, or this could have been her energy before, but now she's here because she's feeling like, hey, my money's missing. Where'd my money go? She's looking at the Queen of Pentacles. Where did it go? She has her right sword, her sword up in her right hand, and she's ready to wield it at any moment. She's done. She's been there. She's done that. She's got the t-shirt. She doesn't want to put up with anyone's bullshit anymore. She has, if you come into her, she does have her left hand out, so she's willing to receive what's hers. but she is not willing to put up with any bullshit from anyone. Off with your head. She's ready. And she has her head above the clouds. So this is saying that she has a clarity that she didn't have before. And she is very discerning about who she lets in her energy now. And then we have this disappointment in the cups again. So it's interesting because this could be talking about a past time before she was discerning, where she had maybe a lover or a partner. This card represents quite often romantic love, but it can also represent, again, just as I said before, the cups represent something you love to do or be. So this could be romantic love or someone else in your life, in your inner circle, or maybe a business partner or something like that. You've given them 3 chances and they're asking for another chance maybe. And you're like, no, 3 strikes, you're out. I'm not putting up with your shift anymore. You're in this energy now. Or this can represent, having 3 different relationships that just didn't pan out, and it was disappointing, and not wanting to, like, nah, I don't want to, the universe trying to give you a cup of love here, and you're like, no, I don't want it. I've been there, done that, and I'm tired of love. Like, if it's more of the same old shift, I'm not interested. Or it could be that there was a third party involvement in what should have been a couple. And sometimes even this 4th cup coming in can represent maybe there was a pregnancy involved from that interaction, but which makes things a little bit even more messy. So this is talking about justice coming in, probably for this situation here. And I feel justice comes in to replay, like this energy is over when justice comes in, and that's maybe you meet your soulmate, and that's when justice comes in, or you're after justice comes in, you meet your soulmate. But I feel, since this was at the beginning, I feel like as soon as justice comes in, it might be because of your soulmate, that kind of energy. So, the Queen of Pentacles could be one of these 2 people, and we don't know who the other one is as of yet. We have Justice here. Justice is, she also has her sword up, and she's ready to wield it too. I'm in agreement with you. There needs to be some justice here, and she's got her right foot forward, which indicates it's peeking out underneath her robe here, and it's saying, hey, I'm ready. As soon as I get the word from the Most High, I'm willing, I'm ready to get this justice served on this in this situation. She has this veil behind her, which represents the veil between the spiritual and the physical realm. So justice starts in the spiritual, and it comes down to the physical. And this can be redemption from karma, or karma coming into your life from actions. So karma, a lot of people think, oh, that's punishment, but it really isn't. It's actually cause and effect, like from your actions or inactions. So if you directly do something and you cause, and you incur karma, it's directly because of your actions or inactions. And then if you have indirect karma, that could be from your ancestors. Maybe they didn't finish up what they needed to before they crossed the veil, and now it's your responsibility, whether you ask for it or not. And that it has to be cleaned up for the bloodline. And then there also can be like the karmic spaces. So, and indirect karma can also be from people that you're dating, or or your significant others, or possibly business partners, that kind of energy, friends, anyone you associate with. And then we have the 6 of Cups coming in, or 6 of Pentacles. So this is talking about kind of how this ended up. How you ended up here. You were breadcrumbed in some way. You were supposed to get money and you didn't get it. Bottom line. And this is talking about having, sowing seeds, and then having enough pentacles that you can start giving pentacles away, and to charity, etc. And this person is giving coin to this individual, But this one, they've got the scales of justice above his head because he already has something in his pocket. So this is saying that this is when you're learning the give and take in life. Like, how much are you willing to invest of your time, your money, and your energy into any individual or into a project? And what would that be? And when you do, what do you anticipate your return to be? Is it a fair exchange of energy? You know, because like this person has the scales of justice above their head because they've got something in their pocket already. Why would he give his money to someone that already has what they need, but they're just too lazy to go do it on their own, or something like that? And so then we have the King of Wands coming in. So the King of Wands is, now we have a king to match a queen here. So the King of Wands is someone who is considered like the sexiest king in the tarot. He is the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. He's very charming and very likable, and people enjoy his company. He's very much a leader and a visionary and loves new projects, like loves to take on like new projects and bring them into being. He's got, you know, he's very passionate about everything he does and has, you know, a really good attitude, very outgoing, and someone that people enjoy his energy. In the back here, we have this energy of salamanders with their tails in a circle and the lion. And this actually represents protection from fire because the element is fire. But having said that, when I noticed a couple months ago, like this looks like a face here. And so there's two eyes, there's a mustache, it looks like, and some smoke coming out of the mouth and the nose. And it's like, this could indicate, you know, like the king has a tendency, he's a visionary and he likes to look into the future and he likes new projects. So sometimes that leaks into his love life. So sometimes if you smell smoke, there could be fire, or it could just mean he's smoking hot, because he is. That kind of energy. You'll have to figure that out for yourself. It just takes, the King of Wands takes a little bit longer to mature and settle down. But when he does, I mean, he's he's an honest person, so it's like it just, until he's ready, he's probably going to play the field a bit, and he can, because he's charming and hot, smoking hot. So this is the star energy. The star is talking about this could represent both the Queen and the King of Wands energy. This is talking about, being in a position where you're putting your own special qualities into pouring it into the universal pool here, and then taking that and pouring it out onto land. So you're basically, there's 5 streams of energy here, and that's talking about the Pentacle energy. So this could represent the Queen of Pentacles and being like in a star energy, following the North Star energy. So this is talking about being on your destined path. The North Star is when you're following your destiny, the one that you came down on the planet to be with. And so these two are the 2 figures that we have here, basically, that could be representing these soulmates. And so there's some sort of Pentacles issue here, that justice needs to be served clearly. This can be breadcrumbing, or someone who having access to the money that shouldn't have, and there's disappointment here. So this could represent a previous relationship, or it could be partnerships, people in your inner circle, something to do with that. And then we have this card, the 3 of Pentacles. So the 3 of Pentacles is talking about being in an elevated position. People notice that you're a star. Having said that, this is saying like that now people are noticing, wow, you've really mastered your skill set, and they want to collaborate with you. This is a stonemason doing beautiful stonework here. This energy quite often speaks of someone who has a really special talent, like in the entertainment industry, like being a really good actor or actress, and maybe directors and producers wanting them for the lead role in a movie. It could be an energy of, a musician, and all the record producers and the, you know, the people that are in the entertainment industry, and there's a lot of different agents, etc., are interested. It could be that you're a beautiful model and some of the top modeling agencies want to sign you up. An artist, a sculptor, this can represent pro sports. Maybe there's a lot of teams wanting to sign you up. This card is saying this is amazing, like you've really reached, you know, like an elevated position here. You have to be very careful who you collaborate with, though, because quite often the history is rampant with this energy of people who, you know, they can see that, hey, there's a lot of potential for money to be made here, and they breadcrumb the person that is doing all the work, and they take most of the money. And quite often this card can also represent secret society energy. And so secret society energy, of course, they have the group energy of their, you know, it could be, in this case, because there's stonework here, it could be masons, a stonemason. There could be energies of cults and churches and whatever group it is, you know, covens, all sorts of different, there's all sorts of secret societies out there. And the thing is, they're secret, so you don't know about it a lot of the time, that's what they are. And they just have their own rituals, and they have their own belief systems and the way they do things. And when you sign up with them, you are expected to toe the line, doing exactly how they do things. And quite often this energy breadcrumbs the people that are underneath them. And, you know, if you're not in alignment, if they're not in alignment with your goals, you could end up living a lifestyle that is not one that you want to be living, and being breadcrumbed while you're at it, while they are getting rich. So be very careful when you are in an elevated position, that you make sure you don't sign any contracts or get into any agreements where that could be in this energy. Going from the bottom to the top and back down again, we have the Page of Cups, who has, you know, this is someone has their eye on you, and it looks like your soulmates. So this energy, you both are probably maybe have been in the same position at some point, not necessarily at the same time. Soulmates quite often are very different from each other, but go through a lot of the same experiences in their lifetime. So that's why they have such a good understanding of each other. So the King of Wands could have experienced this, and the Queen could here, if that's your energy, could have experienced this. And this could be both being in a star energy, having a special talent, and having had people, you know, abuse that power of being able to exploit that power, basically. And then this, and that's, you know, you have to be responsible here, and you have to make sure that you don't get into agreements and contracts that are not ones that you want to be in. And so this can be about disappointment in someone, or some, you know, people that you loved, being part of this energy and using the tactics so that you got breadcrumbed and they were all making money. That's why they would be doing that. And once you found this out now, you understand what's happened, and you probably had to, you know, isolate yourself, or they've isolated you, or it's a combination of both. And until justice comes in, you know, you're going to have to be in this cold energy here, basically making sure that you don't have anything to do with them, because when that karma hits them, it's going to be 100-fold, and you don't want to be anywhere near that energy. So, but you'll be off with your soulmate, so you'll be having, you know, if you both have learned this lesson, then it's going to, you know, you're going to be powerful. And it just so happens at the bottom of the deck we have the World card here, which is talking about the end of this cycle. And so this is coming in. There's going to be some major shift happening here in this energy. If you're watching this now, whenever this is, just pay attention to your intuition and don't give up now. Things are going to get better. It's already on its way. And you know, the world is a very different place now than it was even as I'm doing this reading. It's like just the beginning of April. It's Easter weekend, actually. And so, you know, this is when Jesus was resurrected. And so there's some pretty intense energy as I'm doing this reading about justice coming in. If you're ready to leave the reading now, thank you for your time and energy. Please do give it a like and comment if you received any benefit from this. And I'm going to clarify for those of you who want clarification. All right, so we're using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector, from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. This is a lot of dragon energy, dragons from the future, and big paintings. So it took me quite a while. 2007 I started. 2020 I finished all 64 paintings. I was teaching seminars for several years and had these cards. I had some cards made up, but the oracle wasn't complete. It's very different now that it's like all the cards are done. But I'm just gathering the information. I have a lot of written information on my website, and I have a gallery with all the paintings in it. The numbers on this card, on these cards, represent the paintings in the gallery in the order that they are there. And so I will put them in the order they come up here. So in the description box below, and the information from my website, and you can check it out if you want to. It might give you further clarity. They say picture paints 1,000 words, so we have transition here, so definitely this energy is shifting. So I feel like the soulmate energy is, like I can feel it coming in, like this king and queen are planning to get together on a soul level, and they just got to figure out how they're going to make that happen on the 3D. The universe is collaborating with them. And then we've got the moon coming in. So if you're around a moon cycle when you're watching this, pay attention to your intuition. In particular, like around the full moon and the new moon is when your intuition will be really sharp. Discipline your mind. Make sure that you aren't being really impulsive during, a lot of times full moons in particular can be extremely emotional, and people can get really impulsive. Avoid that kind of energy, and just stay steady and stay on your path, and go inward and meditate and pray and ask for guidance from the Most High. If you're in this situation, understand that it is shifting already as we speak, but you may not be seeing that it's shifting as of yet. The Hermit is talking about safe travel. So this is talking, the Hermit goes up to the top of the mountain to isolate, and that's what I'm talking about. So this isolation can be, it could have been at one point that you were isolated in this situation, because one of the things that happens if you don't follow the rules of the secret societies, and they have like what they call the slow dagger, the white glove treatment. You can look that up. You can Google it. And that energy is like gang stalking and ruining people's reputations, etc. And so there's all sorts of ways that people have to isolate people from society. And we're hearing about it in the news right now as I'm doing this. And it's kind of like there is justice coming in for this energy, though. There's so much of that gaslighting, and there's so much AI. You don't know what's real and what's not right now. I feel the AI is going to ease off. People are getting annoyed with it already. There's times where you can use AI, and it can be very helpful as far as time is concerned in getting specific research, etc. done. But you always have to double check it, because a lot of the time AI is wrong. And so it's like kind of a curse and a blessing at the same time. And so that energy, you have to be really careful these days to make sure that the information you have is correct, and that you're not accusing someone of something that they haven't done, and also that the information that you're going on, that you don't sign up for something that you haven't looked into. because you've got to, it's a time that we really need to take responsibility for that. And we have the Aries energy coming in. And so when I have horoscope signs come in, I just want to make it really clear. I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the actual energy. At the time that I am doing this reading, there's a lot of planets have 7 in the month of April are moving into, the 7th will be moving in a couple weeks here. Big planets moving into the sign of Aries. And this has had a real significant effect on the planet. And there's a lot of desire, a lot of people feeling that craving for new energy and cleaning up the old energy and moving forward. So there's a lot of benefits to the energy, but it's also quite intense. And then we have the karmic space of attachment. So when you become attached to something, this is a karmic space, because when you become really attached to someone or something, it can cause you to, fall into other karmic spaces for sure, because you want to keep it. And so it's like getting into an energy where you'll do anything to keep it. That's not a healthy place to be. Sometimes it's time to let go. You got to let go. We have justice here, on justice. And so again, it's saying, make sure that, you clean your own act up, and you let other people be responsible for cleaning their act up. And justice is a double-edged sword. So when justice comes in, if you've been following your destined path and you've been, doing your best to be the best version of you that you can be, doing things correctly and, being a decent human being, then the justice will be beneficial for you. And it's always beneficial, because the truth is beneficial. The truth sets everybody free, whether they end up in prison or not. At least they're stopping themselves from accumulating more karma. But this energy is talking about, if you're still hanging around with people and because you're attached to them that are about to get karma, you're going to get hit with their karma, whether or not you were involved in it or not. So it's important to recognize that. And we do have the Emperor here. So I feel like this soulmate couple, when they get together, they'll be in that Emperor energy, both of them, a very masculine, get her done kind of energy. And there's maybe something like, there's a good reason why they're coming together. They've made this agreement, and the universe is collaborating with God to make sure they get together now. It's time. That's what I just keep getting. These are timely readings. It's time for this justice to come in. It's time for them to receive the pentacles they need to be able to get the job done, whatever that is. And it's time for people to start receiving their karma if they've been trying to get in the way of God's plan. It won't be pretty for them. But the Emperor energy is very high performance. So you're going to get a lot of shift done if you're in this soulmate energy. So just hang in there. Right before the energy shifts, it can be really intense, and especially if you're around any full moon energy and new moon energy, it can be even more so. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. It's talking about how there's a lot of energy in the spiritual realm coming down to the physical world right now, and how the whole world is experiencing this. And we're all those planets, there's 7 planets moved into Aries a couple months ago as when I'm doing this reading, and it's like really, really intense energy, and the planet sure is feeling it right now. I do hope you've enjoyed this. Give it a like and comment, please. That really does help me to build my channel. Consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. Bye for now. Okay, Stella.